In the kit for the DA100 that fits Dometic and GE products, we've got a cover that comes in there, a new base plate, instructions, an electrostatic filter, foil tape, and all the screws you need. All you really need to provide is a screwdriver and your time. So the first thing we do is we remove the existing cover. So this particular Dometic ceiling assembly actually only has 4 screws in it, here and here, okay? Dometic also makes multiple other ceiling assemblies, and you see they fit in the exact same place. The only difference is it actually has 6 screws. So if you take that down, you only have 4. The other 2 holes are there, they just weren't used for the other cover. So before you actually install the kit for the RV AC silencer, because we're going to provide extra airflow in the kit, I want you to go up here and do all your maintenance. Make sure, number 1, that your air vents that come into the sides are all wide open and clear. That's where your ductwork actually attaches in here. Number 2, check this center divider. There's going to be a piece of foam in front of here. I want you to pull this foam back like you see here, and you'll find there's a piece of metal, top down, bottom up. You can see this one here is loose. You want to make sure that you pull that foam completely down and fix and repair all that with foil tape and seal it all up. If you want to put the foam back up there, go right ahead. Also look for any other things in here that has holes in it. Number 2, look for this free sensor wire that comes out of the box. It will go all the way up into the coil. Make sure that is installed. It's just a little wire that actually turns the compressor on and off so it cycles properly. So all those things have to be done before you install the kit. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this foam down that's in front of this center divider that sits here. Remember I said it's 2 pieces. So a lot of times when you pull this down, it's going to come out of here in pieces. Very seldom it's going to come out in one piece. So they expect this to hold that center baffle in place. As you see, that's a failure. It never works, or very seldom works. So we'll peel as much of this stuff off as we can, get it cleaned up. And this is that second piece. There's one piece that's already here. There's actually a foam seal right here, or a taped seal right here that you're supposed to pull the backing plate off and make it so it's sticky to stick, but it doesn't work. Right now it's not even sticky anymore. So get everything cleaned up as much as you can. Take and stand this back up. Push it tight to the ceiling as much as you can. This center steel baffle, push it all the way to the back and up, and stick it to the high, push it up to the ceiling as tight as you can, and then you want to seal all this up, all these gaps up, and tape this all together, and that's what we're going to do next. So in the kit we do include approximately 8 feet of foil tape. That's really to tape up this cold air dump area. When you have major repairs like this to do, you will not get enough tape in that kit. So you can literally go to your local hardware store, get foil tape. I always suggest like a 2-inch wide, or they got 1.88 foil tape. It's just aluminum foil HVAC tape, and get yourself a nice roll of it and to do your repair work. Tight to here as much as we can. Just take little short pieces, and you kind of want to just hold it up and just start getting it into place. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Again, holding it up there, pushing it tight. So you just want to get it in somewhat the right position. And then we're going to tape all the way across here, all the way through the back, down the sides, the top, and any other holes we see. we did here so far is got the left side sealed up pretty much all the way to the right side. And if you notice here on the left side, everything's sealed up nice and tight. On the right side, we have a big gapping hole. So this is where I suggest taking a flashlight and double checking your work. And as you can see here, we have more work to do. So now we're going to continue on and seal up this right side of the air conditioner. So we have to give it some strength. So now we got this all sealed up. As you can see, it took a little bit of tape and some time. Take your time doing this. Double it up because there's gonna be pressure on there, but you can see I put the light in the back side. We have no light coming through anymore anywhere. So we have a nice seal now. So usually in a Dometic, you'll see a whiter light gray wire that's coming out of the control box that goes all the way up into the coil. The nice thing is this one was installed. I'll pull it out and I can show you what it looks like. Looks like somebody cut off a wire and put a piece of tape on it. That's actually your thermistor. That will turn that compressor on and off so your coil doesn't freeze up. So we're gonna put it back in there because that's where it should be. We got all this all repaired. We're gonna look at the wiring coming in and out of this. Here you can see where they drill a hole that big and they put a wire in. We're gonna tape all this up around here. The goal is to have all the air go down your supply ductwork. So now we got everything dressed up in the ceiling, all the maintenance done on this and put back together. I want you to check your floor bolts and physically hold the air to the roof. So what I do is I really started to go around just making sure, like here's one loose one, and just making it, that one's loose. That one there's loose. So the proper tension on this is in the manual. You typically on your Dometic GE will have proper tension for that and stuff like that. So now we'll just go ahead and we'll give them a snug up a little bit. So right now I'm just using a drill just so for speed for the video. So we got all the other repair work done up in the ceiling except for one item we need to look at, and that was where your ductwork ties into the supply side of the air conditioner. On the back side here, you'll look up in the holes left and right side, and this particular unit is where the ductwork enters. We want to make sure that that transition is smooth, wide open and clear, no holes leaking into the ceiling and missing the ductwork. In this example, we actually do have holes and gaps in the back side that we are going to go up there and seal up next. Everything up to this point was maintenance. Now we're going to install the RV AC silencer. So now we're ready to do the installation. As you can see here in the kit, you do get a full instructions. It is step by step. It does show you all the steps, all the different covers that's available, whether it's GE or the Dometics. And we go through all the steps with some pictures and so forth here. You're going to get that filter in the kit. What's unique about this filter is electrostatic. So when you look at the end grain, it's actually three-dimensional. What's important about that is as the air flows through this, it doesn't crush under pressure. Where a typical foam filter, as you can see here, as soon as you get dirt on it, it actually will crush through pressure or airflow, and that's what blocks off the airflow. Also, the original filter will actually stick and hold to the components up in the ceiling, whether you got control boxes or whatnot up in there. What I did is I took this filter and put it on a frame. So now the air can't go around it. Actually, all the air goes through the filter. We feel that's important that all the air that's going to the air conditioner actually goes through that filter. It's coarse on one side, it's fine on the other. So now it's electrostatic. You can literally vacuum this right in place, or take it out, remove the 4 screws, or loosen the 4 screws, take it out, wash it in soap and water, let it air dry, and reinstall. It's that easy. In the kit provided, you'll get a roll of foil tape. And now we're going to block off this cold air dump area that was on the original cover. We're no longer going to be using that. Typically what I do is run a couple pieces of tape across here, like so, just to bridge this gap. And then 3 or 4 across here. Make this seal. And we're going to continue this across. And that's all sealed up. We're going to also now tape up all these other holes you see. Again, it's important that all the air goes through the filter. Where there's air holes, there's noise holes. So basically air leak, noise leak. You can see here where it was leaking because there's actually dirt around that hole. We now have all the cold air dump taped up. We have all our other holes taped up. Now we're ready to do the install. So with the arrow to the rear, on Dometic it's pretty easy to figure that out. Grab your 6 screws, and what we're going to do is we're going to hold this up and we're going to start the installation. You're going to get all 6 screws put into place. Do not tighten them, just so everything lines up. And then the 2 back screws can get tightened. Leaving the 4 front remaining screws loose. Now take your filter, slide it under 4 screws. Get it clicked in place. You can snug these 4 screws up. And you're good. So just like how we installed the base, we're going to put the cover on next, arrow pointing to the rear of the coach. If you try putting it the other way, the holes will actually disappear. So it's keyed. Take your 4 remaining screws and get them all started by hand. Once you're all started by hand, you then hold the cover up tight to the ceiling and snug up your screws. And your installation is complete. So 59. We now have the installation complete. The air conditioner is actually running on high right now, and we're filming this. That is, I think, proof that this does work. We did do initial readings before we did the install and after. So we actually had 68 dB here originally. We're now down to 59. One of the other things that we do, besides just lowering the overall volume, if you want to say, of the air conditioner, we actually change the frequencies, get rid of the high frequencies. That affects people's hearings, especially pets. Don't like high frequencies. We take that away. Same thing with hearing aids. All those things dramatically affect how we live in our coach. Now we can live more comfortably. We can Zoom meetings. We can have phone calls in here. We can watch TV. It just completely changes your living in your coach.